Good morning, Lions, and welcome to Make It Monday. I'm so glad you could join me today. I have an assistant, William, who's helping me today, and we are going to learn how to make an oven-baked dough. Now, the dough is super easy to make. You just need 3 basic ingredients. You need flour, salt, and a little bit of water. And so we're going to show you together how to make that today and some of the things that you can do with it. So for this recipe, you're going to want to have parents help you out because this is an oven-baked dough or clay, so you will need help using the oven. You're going to preheat your oven before you bake these to 350 degrees. The recipe calls for 4 cups of flour, 1 cup of salt, and 1.5 cups of water. Now that makes a huge amount of dough. I don't need that much, so I'm going to do a little math, and I'm going to cut my recipe in half, which means instead of 4 cups of flour, I'm going to put in 2. So when you get your 2 cups of flour, you want to make sure that when you use your measuring cup, let me get it set here, that it is filled to the top, but not too full. So you're looking at it being pretty much level. All right, just dump that in there, William. Dump it all the way. Thank you. I'm putting 1 more cup in. So 2 cups of flour. Get it nice and good there. All right, William, if you could dump the next can. Okay, that's 2 cups. Tap it in there. Good. Make sure it's all in there. Inside the bowl, please.
Yeah.
All right, and you can put that off to the side. All right, and now we're going to put in, instead of 1 cup of salt, I'm going to put in ½ a cup of salt. So right now I've got actually a 1/4 cup measure because I cannot find my ½ cup measuring cup, but that's okay because 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 1/2. So I just have to fill it twice. So same thing with the salt. You want your salt to be level. Okay, William, if you'd go ahead and put that in there, please. All the way in is fine. Yep. Just keep it in the bowl, please, not outside the bowl.
That's kind of messy.
Okay, that's okay. Sometimes art gets messy. No big deal. Not going to hurt anybody. This is simple stuff. Dump it in. And now you can put that off to the side. And we're going to go ahead and half of 1.5 cups of water is actually 3/4 cup water. And I'm going to go ahead and just put that in there. Okay, that's 3/4 of a cup of water. And now you mix. Okay, so when you mix it up, I like using a fork. It's going to look a lot at first like pancake batter. And you want to mix it up really good. Now it's going to start to get thick really fast. It's going to turn into a dough. Okay, now it's starting to form, and you see it's kind of lumpy here. We're not done yet. Okay, and as we mix it, it's starting to get more and more firm. Now I'm trying to scrape all the stuff off the side here so that I don't have extra flour at the top or extra dough at the top. Now I can really get in here with my hands now that it's pretty well moistened. And I can do it a lot better with my fingers. It's going to feel good. It's going to feel like a nice dough. It's going to feel like a nice dough. And you're going to try to work, because there's going to be flour on the bottom. You want to try to work all that flour into there. Okay, so I'm mushing it in there real good. Trying to get as much flour in there as possible. Now, you might have some flour on the bottom. I actually made this before, and I had extra flour hanging out in the bottom of the bowl. And don't feel like you have to get all of it in there. You want the dough to be soft enough to be able to work it, but you don't want it so firm that you can't use it or work it. And the more flour you put in it, the more stiff it's going to get. So I'm going to take it out and put it on my board right now. And I'm just going to take both hands and I'm going to knead it. And you can see on my fingers right now, it's kind of sticky and doughy. So I'm going to take a little bit more of this flour out of the bottom of this bowl. And I'm going to go ahead and add it to it because I want it to be pretty firm, just not too wet. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on working it. And next, we're going to talk about, well, what can I do with this salt dough? So my advice to you when you're using salt dough is to go ahead and once you made it, you get it nice and mixed up and it's in a nice doughy ball here, is to go ahead and take some plastic wrap and wrap it up. Because when it's really soft like this, it's easy to work with, but it's not as firm because it's still super soft. It's almost like it's a little too soft and sticky in my opinion. So I just take it, wrap it up with a little plastic wrap and a little ball. Almost looks like a little cheese ball. And you just take it and you can throw it in the fridge for half an hour something, and just let it cool down. Now I've got a ball of dough. Thank you, William. I've got a ball of dough. I've already been playing with this, so this is what I have left from what we've been playing around with. And this is a ball of dough that is nice and chilled. I've had it in the fridge for a little while. And what I can do with it, it's nice and cold. I know you can't feel through the camera, but it's actually chilly. And it's nice and firm. So I can make most things out of this. Now I'm going to give a little bit to William so he can manipulate it. And I'm going to take a little bit too. Now, for when you're creating things out of the salt dough, you can really make pretty much most things out of it. You can use things like a butter knife, a spoon, plastic fork, a straw. You can use these things to give you texture or to create designs in your dough. You can also roll it out if you want to. So say I want to make a circle or an ornament or something, I can roll it into a sphere. And I know my first graders, and I'm pretty sure kindergarten and second grade, we've done this before, where we've made a sphere out of our dough, out of our clay in class. And if you want a circle, you're just going to mush that flat. And you can see William's starting to use tools already in his work. Now, if you make it too flat and you get it too mushed to your surface, it's going to be really hard to get it up without tearing it. So don't make it too thin. You want to make sure that you keep it just about a 1/4 of an inch thickness roundabouts when you're creating your things. Now, say I want to make this kind of shape into an ornament. I've got to make my hole before I bake it. So you can use a straw, and I just made a little hole there. Now, if I wanted to decorate it with my fork and make some dots on it, I could do that. You can also, if you make them big enough, you can put handprints or thumbprints. These make great gifts around the holiday. So like I can put my thumbprint in there to make like a little heart design or something. You can really do whatever you want. You can make faces. The one thing you cannot do, which we found out, is make a pinch pot. And I know some of my students, we made pinch pots before, and a pinch pot I'm making with my hands right now is just like a little bowl. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. So you can't make bowls with it, and there's a reason why, and we'll talk about that. But the beautiful thing is you can make pretty much anything that's kind of flat. So like say if I want to make a dog, I want to make like a little dog face, you know, I can go back and I can make eyes, nose, mouth, anything that I want to make is fine. Okay, and I'm just putting that on there. Adding the ears, and all you have to do really is just mush it down. Just mush it on there. Okay, and you can see William's made like a little figure there. But it's really fun to play with and to add things to. So I can use my straw again to make eyes. I can do a mouth with the knife. Get permission when you're using things like this. But you can really just do whatever you want. So I've got this little head here. I could add a body. Another thing that you cannot do with this dough is it won't really stand up. It's very soft. You can get it a little high. I mean, I'm making kind of this mountainous shape, and it's fairly high, but the higher you get, it's going to start to fall over. And also the warmer it gets, it will start to get super soft and fall over. So experiment, try it out, make what you want. When you're done, what you're going to do is you're going to put this onto a cookie sheet. Now my cookie sheets, I align them with aluminum foil. You could put it on parchment paper if you wanted to, but you're going to go ahead and transfer those to a cookie sheet before you bake them. Any dough that you don't use, you want to go ahead and refrigerate it because it will go bad. It is, you know, flour and water and salt, so it will go bad. So make sure any dough that you don't use, put it in the fridge Also, be careful and don't let your pets get a hold of this, dogs or cats. It can make them sick. So we're going to put this to the side right now, and I'm going to have William go ahead and bring our tray over of some things that we made and just talk about what worked and kind of what didn't. So some things worked out great and some things did not work so great. Okay, thank you, William. So here's our tray of some of the things that we made. So as you can see, some things look really, really dark and some things look kind of middle-ish, like lighter color in the center but darker on the outside. So what you can see here, and I can explain to you why this looks the way it does. When you bake them, you're going to bake them for about 20 minutes minimum. You want to start looking in your oven after that and see what happens. So the pieces that are super dark got baked too long, or they're too thin. They're too thin. So what that means is it got darker. It cooked faster than the other things. This right here, this paw print, was much thicker, and so it took longer to bake, and it is much lighter, or like a medium gold, okay? So you want to make sure you watch your stuff when you're putting it in to see how it comes out. Now it is going to puff up a little bit as it bakes, and as we saw, we've got this one right here. Now what's funny about this one is this was a pinch pot. This was a pinch pot, but what happened is the bowl part, the part that went down, well, it puffed up, and I just broke it open. You can see there it caused a big, big bubble. And so that's why your pinch pots won't really work out for you. So this one that I made, this lion's face, let's go ahead and try to bring him up there so you can see him a little bit better. You can see that the inside is a nice medium, but as it went out to the edges and it got thinner, it got a lot darker. So just make sure when you're making your things that you keep a close eye on it after about 20 minutes. You can see some of these things, I went ahead and put a hole in them, so if I want to tie a ribbon and hang it. I also tried to make some beads. Now the problem that I had with my beads is that the hole, I made a hole with a toothpick before it baked, but they closed up. So all of them but one closed up. So you may want to use something a little bit thicker, like a straw, or you might have a bigger skewer or something, but definitely if you want to make beads, you can just put them through before you bake. Now, how do you finish them? What do you do with them? You can decorate them with crayons. You can color them with crayons. You can color them with permanent markers. I would not use Crayolas because that's just going to rub off. So you can use like Sharpies, anything permanent. You can also use acrylic paints, which are probably ideal. And also you could cover things with nail polish, which works just fine on something like this. Now say I paint this paw and I paint it purple, but I want it to stick around for a while. I can also use a clear coat of Mod Podge on it to protect it and seal it. And these are great for holidays. I know that there's a holiday coming up with a lot of eggs, and so you could even make egg shapes and put designs on them. It's pretty limitless on what you can make. So I want you to try it out, see how it goes. Be sure, take some pictures and send them my way. I'd love to put them on our Facebook. You can send it to me at sarah.boster@evsck12.com, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.